Most people don't realize their brain can be rewired in just 3 minutes. Not through meditation, therapy, or medication, but through something as simple as how you breathe. Every day, millions of people try to calm down or focus better using willpower alone. They force themselves to think clearly, to stop overanalyzing, to feel less anxious, yet their minds keep racing. Their thoughts spiral. Their heart rate refuses to settle. Because the real issue isn't mental, it's physiological. Here's what most never hear: the brain doesn't lead the body. The body leads the brain. When your breathing pattern changes, your nervous system sends an instant signal to your brain, telling it whether you're safe or under threat. That's why even a minor stressor, a loud noise, a notification, a sudden worry, can make your heart pound and your thoughts scatter. It's not your fault. Your brain is simply obeying what your breath tells it. Traditional methods try to fix this backward. You're told to think positive, visualize calm, or count to 10. But when your breathing rhythm still signals panic, your brain doesn't listen. That's why mental techniques fail under real pressure. They fight biology with psychology. But a new body of research is exposing a faster, simpler fix. Scientists have found that a specific breathing pattern, lasting only 3 minutes, can instantly rewire how your brain responds to stress and focus. Not metaphorically, literally. Functional MRI scans show measurable changes in activity in the amygdala, prefrontal cortex, and brainstem after applying this pattern. In other words, you can shift your state faster than most people can open a meditation app. And this method isn't about deep breathing, box breathing, or slow exhalations. Those are outdated versions. The trick uses an overlooked principle of how oxygen and carbon dioxide balance triggers neurological recalibration. When you follow this pattern, your brain's electrical activity synchronizes into a coherent state, allowing clarity, emotional control, and focus to return almost instantly. Think about that. For years, people have been trying to train their brain for calmness, when all along the gateway was physical, not mental. The secret is buried in how your diaphragm communicates with the vagus nerve, and how that signal determines whether your mind reacts or resets. So if you've ever felt that your thoughts run faster than your control, that stress hijacks your focus no matter how hard you try. This method will flip that dynamic completely. In just 3 minutes, you can override your brain stress circuits and create the same neurological state achieved after hours of meditation without sitting still for half a day. Here's what's really happening inside your body right now. Your breathing is the remote control of your nervous system. Most people, however, have lost control of it. Chronic shallow breathing, what scientists call thoracic breathing, is the hidden trigger behind constant stress, anxiety, and poor focus. Here's how it happens. When you inhale through your chest instead of your diaphragm, you send a false alarm through the body. Sensors in your lungs and heart detect rapid, shallow breaths and signal the brain that you're in danger. The amygdala, the brain's threat detector, activates instantly. Cortisol spikes, heart rate rises, blood flow moves away from the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making and self-control. Within seconds, you're wired for survival, not clarity. Now imagine living like that for hours every day. Over time, your body starts believing that stress is normal. You lose the ability to switch off. Even small challenges feel overwhelming because your baseline state is already in fight or flight. This is why so many people can't relax, even after work. Why sleep feels shallow and why focus fades quickly under pressure. Most advice misses this cause completely. Meditation apps, motivational talks, even therapy sessions often focus on thoughts, not signals. They assume you can think your way out of stress. But your body doesn't understand thoughts. It understands oxygen, carbon dioxide, and rhythm. Until those change, your brain stays locked in its defensive mode. There's also a chemical side. Rapid breathing lowers carbon dioxide levels too much, causing blood vessels in the brain to constrict. This reduces oxygen delivery to neurons, slowing processing speed and making you feel foggy or detached. Ironically, the more anxious you feel, the faster you breathe, and the less oxygen your brain actually gets. The result is a feedback loop of stress. Shallow breathing triggers the amygdala triggers faster breathing, and the cycle continues. You may look calm on the outside, but your nervous system is burning energy as if you're running a marathon. That's where the real problem starts. Scientists now call it the 3-minute neural reset. It's a short, controlled breathing protocol proven to recalibrate your nervous system and rewire your brain's stress response in real time. Here's how it works. Step 1. The setup. 10 seconds. Sit upright. Uncross your legs. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Breathe naturally for a few seconds. You're only observing which hand rises more. If your chest moves more than your abdomen, you're in stress mode. The goal is to reverse that. Step 2. The switch. 60 seconds. Inhale through your nose for exactly 4 seconds, drawing air deep into your abdomen until only your lower hand rises. Hold for 2 seconds, then exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds, slightly pursing your lips as if cooling hot soup. Repeat this rhythm for 1 minute. 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out. You'll begin to feel your shoulders drop, your pulse slow, and your thoughts clear. That's the vagus nerve activating, telling your brain you're safe. Step 3. The reset. 90 seconds. Now extend the same pattern, but add one change. On each exhale, gently hum. The vibration stimulates the vagus nerve through the larynx, amplifying the calming signal. Keep your attention on the sensation of your abdomen rising and falling, not your thoughts. After 90 seconds, you'll notice your heartbeat syncing with your breath. That synchronization is called cardiorespiratory coherence, a physiological alignment that improves oxygen delivery to the brain by up to 20%. Step 4. The anchor. 20 seconds. End with one deep inhale through the nose. Hold for 5 seconds, then exhale completely. When the breath leaves, imagine dropping a physical anchor from your chest to your abdomen. That simple cue teaches your body where calmness lives so you can access it faster next time. This entire sequence takes 3 minutes. No equipment, no quiet room, no long meditation required. Do it before a meeting, during a stressful call, or even in traffic. You're not forcing your mind to be calm. You're changing the signal that controls it. In clinical trials and EEG studies, participants using this pattern showed a 38% drop in amygdala activity and a 24% increase in prefrontal engagement within minutes. Their focus improved, reaction time shortened, and emotional recovery from stress accelerated measurably. Here's what you'll feel when it works. A slight tingling near your lips or fingertips, sign of restored circulation. A deeper sense of body awareness, thoughts slowing naturally without effort, subtle warmth spreading across your chest or abdomen. Do this twice a day for 1 week and your nervous system begins to adapt automatically. Instead of stress being your default state, calm becomes your baseline. You'll think faster, recover quicker, and feel centered even in chaos. 3 minutes. One pattern. That's all it takes to reprogram your brain's response from reaction to control. To understand why the 3-minute neural reset works, we must look at the biology of stress. When you face pressure, real or imagined, your body activates the sympathetic nervous system, the network responsible for the fight or flight response. Heart rate accelerates, muscles tense, and breathing becomes shallow. This response was designed for survival, but modern life keeps it permanently switched on. Now, the only way to deactivate this system quickly is by stimulating its counterforce, the parasympathetic nervous system. This system calms the body, lowers cortisol, and restores balance. Its primary control pathway runs through the vagus nerve, which extends from the brainstem down to the heart, lungs, and diaphragm. That's why breathing isn't just an automatic process. It's a direct lever to your nervous system. When you breathe deeply into the diaphragm, you stretch tiny baroreceptors around the lungs and heart. These sensors send signals through the vagus nerve to the brainstem, specifically to the nucleus tractus solitarius, which then slows the heart and reduces amygdala activation. In simple terms, you're flipping a biological switch from alert to aligned. Research supports this. A 2017 study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience found that slow, rhythmic breathing at 6 breaths per minute increases heart rate variability, HRV, a key marker of resilience and emotional regulation. Higher HRV means your body adapts better to stress and recovers faster. Another study published in Cell Reports Medicine 2023 showed that breathing exercises activating the vagus nerve could reduce anxiety levels by over 40% within minutes, compared to mindfulness techniques that took weeks. The humming step in the 3-minute neural reset adds another layer of stimulation. Vibration around the vocal cords activates cranial nerves linked to the vagus pathway, producing a faster parasympathetic response. EEG scans show this increases alpha wave activity, associated with relaxed alertness, the same brain state seen in seasoned meditators. Here's what happens inside your brain. The amygdala, responsible for emotional reactivity, quiets down. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning and decision-making, regains control. The hippocampus, vital for memory and learning, receives improved blood flow and oxygenation. Together, these changes form what neuroscientists call a neural coherent state, where the brain's communication between emotion and logic becomes synchronized. This is why people often report feeling calm yet focused after just a few rounds of the exercise. Traditional approaches fail because they target symptoms, not the signaling system. Positive thinking doesn't stop the amygdala from firing. Meditation works, but it requires long-term practice to train the same neural pathways this breathing pattern activates instantly. Even pharmaceutical solutions only mimic what your body can achieve naturally by stimulating parasympathetic tone. Long-term, consistent use of the 3-minute neural reset creates measurable adaptations. Studies in autonomic conditioning show that daily practice for 4 weeks raises baseline vagal tone, meaning your body stays calmer even when you're not consciously breathing this way. People experience improved focus, lower resting heart rates, and better sleep quality because their nervous system learns to return to balance faster. From a biochemical view, the method stabilizes the ratio between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood. Shallow breathing causes hypocapnia, too little CO2, which constricts cerebral blood vessels and limits oxygen delivery. The 4-2-6 rhythm reverses this by restoring optimal gas exchange, allowing neurons to function at full capacity. That's why cognitive clarity improves and emotional control strengthens almost immediately. When practiced regularly, this reset trains your body to handle future stress with less reaction. Over time, the stress circuits in your brain lose sensitivity, what psychologists call neural desensitization. Instead of overreacting to triggers, your system learns to hold steady. That's what rewiring really means. Not a metaphor, but literal neuroplastic adaptation shaped by repeated calm states. So while most people try to escape stress, this technique teaches your body to master it. It doesn't suppress emotion, it regulates it. It doesn't require belief, it works through biology. In 3 minutes, you're not just breathing. You're training your brain to choose balance over chaos, and each session leaves a small imprint of stability that compounds over time, turning calmness from an occasional feeling into your default operating mode. You've just learned how 3 minutes of controlled breathing can do what hours of meditation often can't. Reprogram your stress response directly from the source. The difference is precision. You're no longer reacting to chaos. You're engineering calm through biology. Think about what that means in practical terms. 3 minutes in the morning before work can stabilize your focus for the entire day. 3 minutes before a meeting can lower your pulse, sharpen your thinking, and prevent emotional reactivity. 3 minutes before bed can shift your brain into restorative mode, improving sleep quality without medication or supplements. Most people underestimate how fast the brain can adapt when you speak its language. Your breath is that language: oxygen, rhythm, and signal. When used deliberately, it doesn't just reduce stress, it rewires the communication between body and mind. And the best part? You can do it anywhere. No special equipment, no silence required, no belief system needed. Try this for 7 consecutive days. Set a timer for 3 minutes, follow the 4-2-6 rhythm with the humming exhale, and note what changes. Before, you might feel restless, scattered, or tight in the chest. After, you'll feel grounded, clear, and centered, as if your body finally caught up to your mind. That shift is measurable. It's the moment your brain transitions from survival to control. Within a week, you'll notice that stress triggers feel lighter, that focus returns faster, that emotional recovery happens naturally. You'll be less drained at the end of the day because your body isn't running on emergency signals anymore. You've taught it a new pattern, a 3-minute feedback loop of calm, so don't overthink it. You don't need motivation or perfect timing, just a few steady breaths and the willingness to start. Your nervous system will do the rest: before tense, reactive, foggy. After calm, precise, awake. Try the 3-minute neural reset today. Use it before work, after stress, or anytime you need clarity fast. And when it works, share it. because the simplest science-backed methods are the ones people overlook the most. 3 minutes, one breath at a time. That's all it takes to rewire your brain for calm, focus, and control.